Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. For today's tutorial, I'll show you how I create the crocodile stitch pattern. For this particular project, I use a variegated yarn, and this was a mermaid blanket that I had made for my daughter. And this is what the back of the pattern looks like. Let's get started. To begin your pattern, you're going to chain in multiples of 5 plus 1. For this tutorial, I have 21 stitches. To begin, you're going to place 2 double crochet into the 6th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you're going to place 2 double crochets, chain 1, skip 2 chains, 1, 2, and into that 3rd chain, you're going to make 1 double crochet, chain 1. Skip 2 chains, 1, 2, and into that 3rd chain, you're going to make 2 double crochets. And that is your pattern repeat. Chain 1, skip 2 chains, 1, 2, and into that 3rd chain, you're going to make 1 double crochet. Chain 1. Skip 2 chains, 1, 2, and into that 3rd chain, you're going to place 2 double crochets. Chain 1. And at the end of the row, you'll have 3 chains left. Into the last chain, skip 2 chains, and into the last chain, you're going to make 1 double crochet. And that is the end of row 1. Chain 1. And in row 2, we're going to start making the crocodile scales. So every place where there is a double crochet, 2 double crochets next to each other, that's where we're going to put the scales. Where there's 1 double crochet, we're going to make a slip stitch. So there's going to be a scale, a slip stitch, a scale, a slip stitch, a scale, a slip stitch. To begin the crocodile scale, you're going to make 5 double crochet around the first double crochet, chain 1, and make a 5 double crochet around the next double crochet. So let's do that. You're going to start by making 5 double crochets. You have to turn your work a little bit. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to chain 1, and you're going to turn your work the other way. If you're confused about what position to turn, I use this as a guide. The tail is facing you when you make your first scale of the crocodile stitch, and then you're going to turn it, and the tail is away from you when you make it the other side of the stitch. So on the other side, you're going to make 5 double crochet around the other double crochet. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. So in that double crochet, we're going to make a slip stitch. And you don't want to make your slip stitch too tight because you're going to be crocheting into it into the next row. Here we are, we have 2 double crochets together. We're going to make another scale, 5 double crochet around the first part of the double crochet. And that's 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you can see, the tail is facing me, and then the tail is going to face away from you. You're going to chain 1, and then you're going to make 5 double crochet around the other side of the double crochet. and you're going to make a slip stitch into the double crochet. So at the end we have one more scale, so we're going to do as we've been doing before, 5 double crochet around one side, and you do have to hold your work in a odd kind of a way to make these scales. Chain 1, and on the other side you make the next part of the scale. That's 4 and 5, and you're going to make a slip stitch 2 stitches down in that skip chain. And that is the end of row 2. For row 3 you're going to chain 3, and you're going to make a double crochet into that same stitch. Chain 1, and into the crocodile scale you're going to make a double crochet. Chain 1. Into the slip stitch you're going to make 2 double crochets. Chain 1, and that is your pattern repeat. Into the scale you're going to make a double crochet. Chain 1. Into the slip stitch you're going to make 2 double crochets. Chain 1. Into the scale 1 double crochet. Chain 1, and at the end you're going to make 2 double crochets into the last stitch. That is the end of row 3. For row 4 we're going to chain 1, and just as we did before, we're going to place our scales where there's 2 double crochets together, slip stitch, 2 double crochets together, that's a scale, slip stitch, a scale, slip stitch, a scale. And to make that scale we're going to start making 5 double crochet around the first double crochet, just like we did before in row 2. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're going to chain 1, turn your work so that tail is facing you, and you're going to make 5 double crochet around the other side. And you're going to make a slip stitch into that double crochet, and that is your second set of scale, part of the second set of scale. Up we're going to make another scale because we have 2 of the double crochets together. That's 4 and 5, chain 1, turn, and make the other side of the scale. a slip stitch into the single double crochet. You're going to make another scale. Chain 1, slip stitch, and we come to the end of a row, and we have one more scale to make. Chain 1, and that is your second set of scales. To create another row of shells, we're going to chain 1, you're going to slip stitch into the space, the crocodile stitch space. You're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, plus 1, and that 1 is a chain 1. We're going to make 2 double crochet into the slip stitch, chain 1, and we're going to make a double crochet into the crocodile stitch space, chain 1. And just as before, that is a pattern repeat. You're going to make 2 double crochet into the slip stitch, chain 1, 1 double crochet into the crocodile stitch space, chain 1, 2 double crochet into the slip stitch, and chain 1, and 1 double crochet into the crocodile stitch space, chain 1, and turn. And just like we've done before, we're going to be making the scales around the 2 double crochets that are next to each other. So we're going to be ignoring this first one and making our first scales around the double crochets together. And you know how to do this by now. Making 5 double crochet around that first part of the 2 double crochets. That's 4 and 5, and chain 1, making 5 more double crochet on the other side. I'm going to make a slip stitch and another scale. make a slip stitch and one more scale. Chain 1, and you're going to make a slip stitch to the chain 4. And that is how I crochet the mermaid stitch for that very labor intensive mermaid blanket that I made for my daughter. Thank you for visiting my channel. Please like and subscribe.